once someone in a movie, someone said that was something that my father would be proud of, my mother would believe. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to this. First of all, this is in English, I'm afraid, or Italian. It's up to you, but definitely not Hungarian. I can't understand the words, unfortunately. Not good. But the other thing is that when I was invited to present this conference, I was invited to talk about integrated information management system, and then I was changed to museum management system. So I'm not entirely sure what this is about, but I'll try anyway, so we'll see what happens. A few words about who we are. I run a company called e-Think. We're based in London, and there's 12 of us. It's not very big. We work worldwide, you'll see. We do two things mainly, which is customer software, so collection management system, digital management system, all that sort of stuff, and we do digital design. We have a huge collection of kit in our office, so our clients have to come to meetings late afternoon now instead of stay with them morning meetings in the morning. And we work for private galleries and collectors, museum archives, libraries, and so on. I'm not talking too much about us, just an introduction about what is, why we're here, why I'm here, why we can talk about this. We've been doing this for 16 years. From Hong Kong to San Francisco, UK, Germany, Belgium, all over the place. And we like to think of that we have created a software which is everything management system we want, not just a museum management system, not just a collection management system. We have been lucky, fortunate to work with very interesting clients from all over the place, and this is more or less where we have been working. And these are some of the examples. We've been working with the Asia Archive, Art UK, Illinois, a database of about 3,000 collections and all the paintings public hands in the UK. We've been doing some archaeological work for crowdsourcing. We've been working on Hong Kong, as I said, online journals, museum website, archaeological website, the collection management system. You can search anything that relates to Shakespeare in one place through to the usual what I'm talking about today, which is integrated information management. This presentation, what I'm talking about is not specifically about us or our software. I didn't want to come here and advertise. It's about traveling the world, going to speak to different museums and see what issues they all share. And one of the issues, if you work in museums, which I believe most of you do, is the fact that information is organized in silos. Everything that you do, everything that you manage, every information, every database is an independent database. Very difficult to get information from your archival system into your collection system, very difficult to get information from your archival system into your website. Why? There's a worldwide push, if you want, for sharing information, but we struggle managing sharing information inside our organization. We don't really know how to do it. A lot of it has to do with software limitation, or old generation software, new generation software that is limited to being self-contained, typically a Windows application or a Java application. Very few new software use web technologies and what they call APIs, so this is what allows information to be shared. And we have been told that when we have something to do, we need a product. And to me, what I've been trying to do in the last 15, 16 years is doing workshops and giving presentations, trying to change that mentality. Whatever the product or the software or the framework or the system that you end up using, it doesn't matter. It's just a question of thinking in a different way. Most of us, most of you, don't know where your data is. Most of you don't know how to get it out, or wherever it is, and into something else, and how to use it. It's impossible to have visibility over everything that you have. It's impossible to know that a certain letter from Van Gogh is connected to a painting from Van Gogh, unless you have I would be very happy to hear different stories. Think that their problem is only their problem and they don't need to share with anyone else, and no one else understands what they do and how they do it. It's very difficult to find people talking to each other inside the classroom. This is why we go to conferences. So what happens in a typical museum? What do you have? There's a museum in the middle. You typically have a collection management system, which is software to buy, you develop it, or you buy it or access it, or you just use Excel or something with it. Then you have your library and archive, the hosting management. Then on top of that, we need to publish information on the web. So you have another system, another something that we need to learn, and something we need to start using. Then you need to collect donations, you need to sell this program. You also need to sell products sometimes. You have friends supported that you need to cater for it, you know where they are. You need to manage social media more and more, user-generated content. All of these pictures are populated with more products that you add to the picture. And at some point, after you add all of these products to the picture, then you have stuff all over the place. So your databases would be, you have a digital automatic system where you probably have your whole images and documents, but it's very difficult to integrate those with other stuff. And then you have pictures and documents and databases all over the place. So you get someone else to come in and build what's called an integration layer. And what an integration layer does is connects to some or all of the products. So you can start sharing data, and maybe your list of people is the same across the board instead of being different and everything. The problem is that as soon as you change one of the applications, the integration layer breaks. Why? Because we are used to what we call a black box approach. A black box is you don't know what's going on. You're given a product, and you use it. And you're told to use that product, and it does the job, it does what it's supposed to do, it does what it wants to do. That makes us, I'm a vendor, that makes me very happy because I can sell you stuff. And that makes another category, which is the system integrator, also very happy because they can sell you other services. In the meantime, the money or the ability to pay for it. But if you look inside the box, what do you really have? So, assuming that this is what you need to manage, this is the processes that you need to manage in your organization. So you have collection management, collection archival library, you have video recorders, you need to present, publish information, you have to manage the files, the images and so on, and increasingly you have to keep the copy of user-generated content. So let's take one level. What is an example? The system is typically made of one part which is information, another part which is authorities, another part which is activities, processes. What are they? Well, a collection management system will manage objects. Your authorities will be people, location, tesauros, vocabulary, and so on. And your activities will be acquisition, loans, distribution, transport, and so on. So you buy a collection management system, manage all of this. But then also you often have an archive. So what do? You buy an archive management system. And oddly enough, the stuff that you need to manage is the same. It has a different structure. I'm not saying it's exactly the same. It has a different structure, but in principle, you have to manage the same information, authorities, or activities. And you have people inside your archive, so you have one record of an artist in your collection management system, and you have one record of an artist in your archive management system, but they're not the same. One of the two has a wrong date of birth. Which one is it? It's impossible. That's something completely different. So you have your web management system. And again, you will need to manage pages, events, stories, maps, and so on. You need to tag it, you need to show venues, and you have activities. Again, more information, more redundancies, more out-of-date stuff goes through your organization. And if you need an image, and it's in a content management system, and you want it in your archival management system, you need to download it and re-upload it. It's all disconnected. So information is different, activities are different, authorities are different, they have a different structure, but do they really need a different software? Because what I tend to believe is that if you need to, some of us will have multiple cars, but we don't have multiple cars because every car is dedicated to one activity. You don't go shopping with one car and take the children to school with another car. You get one car, which is not necessarily this one, but you get one that does most of what you need. And then you get another one, fine, but not because you need it. So the problem with that is that you buy different software, and of course you have different licenses, training, maintenance, integration, different databases, different authorities, different formats. It becomes a nightmare, very, very quick. And this becomes your life or your life. So you enjoy your life because you believe that this is what you need to do, or because this is what this is the only alternative. So what is software? Because software is something that you buy a license for, but what is it? What we discovered is in essence, software is a database of information and workflows that has controlled access. So you can configure the database to do what you need it to do. You don't need to have multiple software. You can have, think of the simplest database that you have is Microsoft Excel. How much you can do with Excel? See, because you are comfortable configuring it, but you don't configure it. You simply use it the way you need it to use. So you can calculate your mortgage payment, you can calculate the salary, you can do whatever you want because you don't want to do it. Or this. So the question that goes through my mind when I talk to museum is, what is a museum in the 21st century? Is it really a seriously disconnected department of people that all work in our little parish, in our little room, we never talk to one another? Because to me that has no future. Because more and more these conferences should be the catalyst to provoke more interaction with people. And on top that happens, so we get in touch, so we actually stay in touch. So to me, a museum is a group of people that really work together, really passionate about sharing information and sharing stuff. So what is about software? About software to me is one which is designed to solve only one problem in a rigid and isolated way. And often, a collection of systems is designed for a very large museum. Now, this is a very large museum. Some of you will work in small museums. We don't have the same needs. One of the leading software was designed for the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. Have you been to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York? I was there for a day and a half and visited a third of it. It's impossible to see all, you know. So good software to me is a framework which is designed to solve multiple problems because it's flexible and it's easy to integrate. It has communication with other systems. So what do you want from your software? So when you actually go out to tender, you want configurability, you want flexibility, you want granular access, and you want, don't forget that, you want a fantastic interface. Fantastic interface. If you were to book your holiday on most collections management system that you use, would you be able to do it without training? Can you imagine? EasyJet sending out, or VA sending out a manual to book a flight. Now, in my opinion, having your managed collection management or whatever management software you have, that should not need training. Shouldn't need it. Because if you need training, it means it's badly designed. So, if you were to go away with only one idea from the presentation today, this is the one that I would like you to go away with. Stop thinking of your software as a product and start thinking of your software in terms of process. Because if you think of your software, whatever management system, collection, archival, library, anything you want, as a product, this is what you end up with. You don't need to know what it does. This is very much, I like Apple and we only work with Apple, but this is very much the Apple mentality. You don't need to know it works. It works. Now, this does a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things that with the presentation of my content. It's possible to do a lot of stuff with it. So even after this, release you some information. But this is what you end up with, because this is a product. So you have one need, you buy a product. You have one need, you buy a car. You have another need, you buy another car. Never mind the fact you don't have two garages. You have one garage, you buy two cars. Where do you put the second car? If you think of it in terms of process, this is what software does essentially. It has a database, it has a logic, and it has an interface. So by exposing logic and data and making it visible and making it configurable, you will discover that actually you can reduce the number of software products that you need, because you can actually manage a lot more in one place. It's going to take time to get there, and some organizations start thinking in this way, but it takes time and it's scary, because basically you need to think about what you do and not being told by a vendor what you need to do. Saying that, color mesh right. And I think that's it for me.